Should I ask my partner for permission? Welcome to the MorrowMarriage podcast. This question we get asked all the time. Welcome to the MorrowMarriage podcast. I'm so excited. It's the 100th episode. I want to talk to you today about something that I do with my men in the program. See, most programs, they encourage you not to talk to your partner about them. I'm Cass.
I'm Kathryn. So I should say thank you because he goes to work every day. And I said, yeah, you don't have to say thanks every day, but you could throw in like, you're so thankful that he brings home a paycheck. You're so thankful that you can get whatever you're getting for the kids for Christmas.
He is just a paycheck. What about his needs? Guys, we are here today. We want to talk about not loving, or I'll say don't love your inner child.
We're MorrowMarriage.
Let's flip divorce statistics with the new marriage. I want to talk about this today for a few reasons. Number one, you need to know that every time you ask for permission to grow, you are saying, I'm not taking responsibility for myself.
I'm not sure if I can. Will you please tell me that I can?
That's right. And guys, this is men or women, okay? I understand that sometimes money in an investment for a program, even buying a book for some of you, can be scary. You guys have potentially fought about money a lot. I mean, it's one of the top 3 reasons that people fight in relationships. But what you need to understand is simple. If you are asking mommy for permission and she doesn't trust you, she doesn't rely on you, she thinks you're an irresponsible teenager, let's say, and I can break this down for you, but that's what's happening. Your wife is not going to say, yeah, this is a good idea. You can go save our marriage and you can go become a great man. And you guys have to understand, she doesn't believe you. Let me break this down. If she thinks that you can't handle your emotions, that you said you're going to do things, if she's saying things like, why didn't you do this years ago? I'm not going to fall for it this time. I need space. All of these things that are normal and said, then what happens is you then go ask for permission from her and she already doesn't believe you. You've made her so unsafe. You're so unreliable. There's no integrity that she's probably going to say it's a waste of money or a waste of time. And if she doesn't, she's going to think that. And I'm speaking about men because I get asked this question at least once a day. Okay. But I'm sure it's the same for a lot of the women in your program. But a lot of them are stay-at-home wives, right? Stay-at-home moms.
A different ballgame with women because women oftentimes are stay-at-home moms, stay-at-home wives, or they make less money than their husband does, which is super common. We do get women that are the breadwinners, but mostly not. So for them to tell their husband, they actually, a lot of them, they have to because they don't have any privacy with money. Their partner is financially abusing them. There's all kinds of reasons why women actually have to tell their partners, but oftentimes they don't. If they don't have to, oftentimes they just do it. Mm-hmm. If they can have privacy, or if they think, the whole, I'll tell them after it's already spent.
Yeah. Well, that reminds me of like something that a salesman would say to you guys. It's better to beg for forgiveness and ask for permission. I'm not going to go down that road. What I'm going to say is that, I think that's bullshit. Because obviously, if we're trying to save your marriage, we don't want you to start off on the wrong foot. But what you do need to understand is it's not about asking for permission. It's not about begging for forgiveness. It's about investing in your future. I'm going to use the women for an example right now. If your husband is the gatekeeper to the money, fuck that shit. You do other things. He makes the money. Give me a break. Don't let him put you under his foot like that. Right? That's where
except that they need to be in a program like mine to learn how to not be under his foot. So they need to ask for the money to get into the program oftentimes. So I get what you're saying. No,
but true. But this is what I'm getting at. Okay. Yeah. So that's why I would say to men, well, what if she says no? Get in the program. Start the very beginning. We are going to talk about how to speak to your wife before it hits the credit card statement, before there's a big fucking issue. You get ahead of it. You take responsibility, number one. You decide that you're going to follow through, because if you're not going to follow through, don't fucking waste your time, my time, or her time.
Cut the F-bombs a little bit.
Cut the F-bombs, she said.
He's very passionate.
Okay, I honestly, because if I think back to our journey, honey, I mean, I would tell you about all the books I was reading, the courses I wanted to take, the things and you were just like, I don't care.
Yeah, I was like,
yeah, whatever, because she didn't believe me, guys.
And I didn't believe him because he wasn't necessarily implementing it. He didn't have the right tools. It doesn't, you don't just get a book and think that everything's going to be fixed.
100%.
Right. So if he would have asked me, which by the time you got more mature in your learning, he just did it. Because he knew if he asked me, I wouldn't believe him. I would say no. Not that I had control over him if I said no, but it would influence his decision. You know, if your wife says no, you might still want to do it, but you might be like, oh, my wife said no.
Oh, hands down, it's happening all the time. You guys are a bunch of fucking babies. Listen, here's why. Because when I invested, okay, I decided, your mic's not on, baby. I decided to make the decision, okay? So A, that's fucking manly. B, I followed through. That's even more manly. And that's the implementation Kathryn's talking about. C, what happened was my wife saw a lot of respect breed in her because I was a man. And what you need to understand is if you are asking your mom for permission or your dad for permission, every single time you decide you want to grow, listen, here's the real other reason that some of you might really have to consider. Your partner might not even be in. You're the one who wants to do this. That's almost everybody.
So then, of course, she's going to say no, or he's going to say no.
Or like you might get lucky and be like, oh, yeah, that sounds good, because everybody knows what they're supposed to say, right? So if you can manage the money, you can manage the investment, you can manage the time, which all of that should matter if you are prioritizing yourself and your relationship. Duh. Okay. Now, if that's the case, you might get lucky and have somebody that's like, oh, yeah, that sounds great. But are they actually in? So why are you telling them about everything? Listen, nobody gives a fuck about who you are going to be. They only care about who you are, and that's defined by how you made them feel in the past. So if you're asking and they don't trust you, you're wasting your breath. You're trying to get validation and approval. All right. I don't want to go any more into this. That I don't think I need to. Do you need to go anymore?
No, I think that one thing is that there is value in having conversations with your spouse. So we get situations that are really bad. You can't have a conversation about what you're having for breakfast, let alone spending any sum of money. Okay. But we also get couples that you can have conversations. Maybe money isn't the biggest thing. And when you can have a conversation and you can say, I'd like to spend this money, and you have that level of respect, I wouldn't go spend a large sum of money or a medium sum of money. I might spend a medium sum of money actually without talking to my husband, right? Because for us, it's a respect thing. He's also not going to do it either. We have business partners where we even talk to them. Hey, I feel like I could spend this money, but hey, is it okay with you? And it's not really asking for permission. It's just hey, let's have a mutual respect that I know when I do it with the business, it's like, this is what I'm doing.
Yeah, same with me.
You're actually lucky that I'm asking you right now. It's kind of the air that I give off. But I do want it to be respected. It's the same thing with my husband. If I say I want to spend a large sum of money on XYZ, I'm not saying, can I do it? I'm saying, hey, I'm giving you the opportunity to align with my vision of where I want to go. And the right answer is yes. It's not actually about the money. It's, I want to make this large investment in myself, in our children, in our marriage, in my fitness, in my health. I'm giving you the opportunity to align with that so that I know you're on board and we're going in the right direction.
Well, that's very valuable. So I'll give that to men right now too, especially because a lot of you feel so scared right now. Okay. And what I would say is this, it's making that decision. So if it is about respect and talking about the money, okay, I can get on board with that. Again, we're not starting you off on the wrong foot here. Okay. We just need you to get started. Okay. So that you can start moving forward. So what do? You say, hey, babe, I found a program. I'm going to do it. And if money's an issue, you'd say, we need to find a way, right? Or I've found a way, and that's even better, and present it. She doesn't have to be on board. He doesn't have to be on board. You are deciding that you are not going to settle and coast anymore. You are deciding you're done being roommates. You are deciding you're done being enemies. You are deciding that you are done leading your children into the same stupid cycles that we're all repeating unless we make a fucking change. So that's all I have today.
Yeah, that's all I have.
All right.
That's good.
See you next time.
Bye.